I'm alright, Paul, thanks. No, it was just obviously based on the game on Saturday.
Yeah.
I think it's becoming evidently clear now that the signings that Celtic have made in the summer are just not going to cut it at Celtic, and we really do need to go out and buy quality. Tomorrow night, we're basically on the brink of getting out of Europe, and I think, I don't know what the guys in the panel think, but I think if Rodgers was to lose heavily tomorrow and then potentially drop points against Rangers at the end of December, I think his job could be coming under scrutiny because Celtic fans are getting frustrated now.
Okay, I'm going to throw it to the guys, but of course this isn't his team, because the players who were coming in the summer were in the system, they were on the way in, and I heard it early on, he talked about the recruitment department, so I praised them, but it was obviously, it was a process. But look, there's Ross saying if it goes wrong he could be off. Mark?
No, I don't believe that for a minute. That look, if they go out of Europe, and I agree with Ross, I think Celtic will get out of Europe tomorrow night. I don't think they've got it in them to go and win in Rome. I hope I'm wrong, but I don't think they are. There's no evidence to suggest that they can go to Rome and win tomorrow night. Even if Celtic do lose to Rangers on December the 30th, Brendan Rodgers will still be the manager, and rightly so. But look, the warning signs have been there, and Ross is highlighting it on the back of 2 drop points on Saturday at home to Motherwell. Brendan Rodgers cited it 3 months ago. Signings aren't good enough. He made it clear he could see potentially some of the pitfalls that were going to come ahead, and he's highlighted it. So he's always said, I want better players, I want players that are game ready, I want players that are experienced. He's lost Starfelt, Moy and Jota. Not really replaced, like Lagerbielke, not a replacement.
He could be on the way out.
Yeah, Liam Scales has been a wonderful find, so that's been a real bonus, and credit to Rodgers and his staff for working with him and seeing something in him. But the warning signs are there. So if things don't go well for Celtic over the next few weeks, it's not on Brendan Rodgers. It's not on Brendan Rodgers, or certainly it shouldn't be. Sure. But there's a chance to correct it in January, and Celtic have got far greater financial muscle than what Rangers have at the moment, and Celtic need to use that to their advantage and go and get some proper players. No more projects. Go and get some proper players.
Barry, are you surprised at the deficiencies? There's weaknesses in the Celtic team.
Yeah, and Mark says Brendan Rodgers did mention that a few months back, and I've heard them mention it over the last couple of weeks as well. He wants quality, but he wants guys who have been there and done it. Say guys at 27, 28, 29 who have played a lot of games. As when you look at Celtic, when I watched the game, and they're just it's a different look to them, and I think he'll be desperate to bring in players in January. Whether that'll happen or not, who knows, but I think they do need players.
Ross, do you think some of the fans are beginning to think that Brendan Rodgers would go? Why would he go? Surely he'll get the money. And do you have confidence in him personally to get the right signings and to turn around that form?
Yeah, in terms of obviously Rodgers going, I think it's going to be the case of the John McGinn saga again. I don't think the board are willing to spend the money, and I think that's why we've ended up with a situation where we're signing 4 or 5 projects. Me personally, I would go and shut the door of Aberdeen and say, right, Miovski, how much are you wanting for him? If it's 3 or 4 million, but Celtic won't spend 3 or 4 million on Miovski, they'll want to buy him for 2 million, and they'll want to kind of try and minimise spending high money as much as they can, and I think that's where the issues are going to come. And I generally do believe, I think Rodgers will get fed up of it, and we'll end up in the same situation, but I think he'll end up walking away again.
Well, that's a different scenario from what you painted in your original question, or you made out as if, like, if they don't win he should be sacked, that Celtic fans will be calling for him to lose his job. What you're saying is different. What you've just said there in terms of people that Brendan would quit out of frustration at not being backed, that's a different scenario. Look, there's a chance in January, and the message was loud and clear from the manager at the AGM as well, and then in his media conference after it. I need better players. The club deserve better players. The fans who have just spent another 130, 140 quid in Champions League, they deserve better players. They're putting their money in. They're putting tens and tens of millions of pounds into the club every year. They deserve better players.